Hi, I'm Kelsey Mays for Cars.com. These days, a gallon of gas costs more than most of the drinks at Starbucks. But if you still need to haul the kids in a boat up to Aunt Meg's for the weekend, Chrysler's answer is the 2009 Aspen Hybrid. And this is going to be marketed alongside the identical Dodge Durango Hybrid. Together, these two SUVs make up Chrysler's first hybrids. Now, both models use a two-mode gas-electric hybrid system developed specifically for larger SUVs. Here it's attached to Chrysler's 5.7-liter Hemi V8, and four-wheel drive is standard. The resulting gas mileage is 1920 city highway versus 1318 for a regular four-wheel drive Aspen Hemi. That may not seem like much, but it's actually a 25% overall improvement, and the Aspen Hybrid can tow up to 6,000 pounds. That's not something your Prius or Ford Escape Hybrid will be able to manage. Now, outside, the hybrid badging is fairly minimal. There's little decals on the doors and on the trunk. There aren't big letters across the side like you see on a Chevy Tahoe or GMC Yukon Hybrid, and there actually aren't any major aerodynamic changes either like there are on those SUVs, so most people will probably think you're just driving a regular Aspen. Now, inside there are a few differences, and the first one is a hybrid gauge that goes in place of the tachometer. It's got three zones: a charging area for when your regenerative brakes are charging the battery, economy, which is under most normal driving, and power if you need more of it. The idea is to keep the needle in that green hybrid area in the middle as often as you can. A navigation system is standard. It's got a hybrid energy display. It's pretty typical as they go. It shows the flow of power, it shows instant gas mileage, and it shows whether you're running off of electric power or gasoline power off the hybrid system. Now, between the gas engine and the electric motors, there's 385 total horsepower, so the Aspen Hybrid scoots along pretty well when you need it to. Electric-only mode is good for short, slow acceleration, which is fine if you don't mind holding up a long line of cars. Don't do that while I'm driving behind you. The engine comes on pretty seamlessly, although it can take a little bit long if you need immediate acceleration from a standstill. One way to cheat this is to activate the tow-haul mode on the transmission, which keeps the engine on the whole time. There's no delay, but that probably does lower gas mileage. Now, decelerating at pretty much any speed shuts off the engine and cranks on the regenerative brakes. That helps mileage, but it can be a problem if you're in a lane that's moving slower and then you decide to move into another lane that's moving faster, because it takes a moment for that engine to come back on when you're on the gas. You need it immediately. Now, the regenerative brakes, as I mentioned earlier, help recharge the battery. The pedal feels awfully brick-like. The brakes in the Tahoe and Yukon Hybrid, in comparison, seem much more natural. In fact, both competitors seem better at making their hybrid nature invisible to the driving experience. The Aspen Hybrid doesn't seem quite there yet. What it does have on the GMs is price. This starts at about $45,000. It comes pretty well equipped, and Chrysler says that it projects a $1,800 federal tax credit when it comes on sale. That means it's about $7 grand less than a comparable Chevy Tahoe Hybrid, and only about $2 grand more than a similarly equipped Aspen non-hybrid. Chrysler says incentives between the hybrid and the non-hybrid will be identical, and so barring any markups at your local dealership, this could be a pretty good deal.
For additional information on this car or any other, go to Cars.com and our blog, Kicking Tires.